So we come to bouncing the ball, or bouncing the ball while stepping. Again, varying names of this, and this is the 17th move of the 18th form Qigong sequence, or Qigong, whatever you want to call it. And I've actually done this not in a traditional manner where you're working on the meridians, etc. As with a lot of Chinese medicine, they believe each meridian to affect a specific organ, and each exercise to affect a specific meridian and organ, etc. But again, I don't want to go too much into that. This one within the form is believed to help where it's going opposite arm to opposite leg to balance up both hemispheres of the brain, and the pericardiums and the kidneys are benefited. But again, I'm not going to go into that. I've gone into that in other videos. So with this one, not too much on the movement. The movement you can pick up. I'm going to go more into the breathing. So again, as with all of these, I'm going into bringing in the hypnotic breathing with the yogic and the Pilates setup and breath, all in one. And if you want to go a little bit more advanced on the yogic breath, we go into Ujjayi breath, which is victorious breath. So again, I'll get straight on with it. So the main bulk I'm going to do is on the breath. Okay. Now this is the 17th move for the 18th form Qigong sequence. I've done an 8 brocades added onto a 18th form Qigong sequence. This is the 17th of that, and then a 9 form. Okay, so again, this is the penultimate move, the 17th move of the 18th form Qigong sequence after the 8 brocades motions at the beginning, and then a 9 form. So basically, it's a 25th move of the whole 35, 3 forms put together, a 9 form, an 18 form, and a 8 form, 8 brocades at the beginning. But again, it's just the motions really I've took and mixed them up with breath synchronized movement. Don't get too sort of bogged down on that move is always, you know, this meridian, etc. Again, I'm not debating that. It's just, these are just motions, and we're sticking it with movement in a vinyasa type way, breath synchronized movement way. So with that, we're going to start off zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals. You can't do one of them muscles without the other. They go together anyway. Okay. So again, you can see that in any other videos. I'm not going too much to detail with that. Zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals. Okay, and that will naturally help you breathe into these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. If you want to see where that is, you get these 2 middle fingers touching underneath the xiphoid process, the sternum, the breastbone. Palms on the lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs. And as you right now zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals and breathe in through the nose and exhale through pursed lips in the Pilates breath manner, that'll help you breathe anywhere but the belly button. As you keep these 2 middle fingers here, you'll feel this happen. Again, slightly parting and coming back to touch each other. Breathing through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. You'll feel the breath go into these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach, because there's nowhere else the breath to go apart from into them lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. Okay, and again, that's going to help us use our pelvic floor and our corset muscle, 3 layers deep, the transverse abdominis, in the most efficient manner to segmentally stabilise the spine by breathing anywhere but the belly button. That's the Pilates setup. That helps you stabilise the spine by throwing on that corset muscle and zipping up pelvic floor. As I say, they go together. As you're breathing in through the nose right now and exhaling through pursed lips, as if you're blowing out a candle through pursed lips, you can now close the mouth as you still zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals right now. Even let them fingers go if you like and relax. And as you're still zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out the abdominals right now, we close the mouth there and we breathe in and out through the nose. So that goes a little bit into the yogic side of things, where we're lengthening the whole will cycle of the breath. Okay, because it's a smaller filter through the nose, and that helps us lengthen the breath. Okay, that whole will cycle of the breath, especially that lovely elongated out breath. Lovely. So as that naturally happens, you can stick with that, or you can bring your mind to that out breath. And rather the breath breathe you, you're going to breathe that out breath. You're going to elongate that out breath longer than the in breath. As you elongate that out breath longer than the in breath, that's encourage sleep, digestion, rest and relaxation by elongating the out breath longer than the in breath. Okay, the in breath's conscious thought, the out breath is subconscious thought. So by extending the out breath longer than the in breath, we're encouraging sleep, digestion, rest and relaxation by elongating the out breath longer than the in breath, encouraging them restful relaxation responses and endless streams of comfort. Lovely. All the housekeeping properties of the body are benefited by elongating the out breath longer than the in breath. Encouraging them chemical cascades to relaxation, all on that lovely elongated out breath. Lovely. So that brings that hypnotic feel to the breath, a bit like 7-11 breathing, making the out breath longer than the in breath. Okay. Now again, you can stay with them, that mixture of breath there. Okay. Or you could, if you can, you want to take that on and make that slightly more advanced yogic breath, you can do that. You can go for the ujjayi breath, victorious breath in Sanskrit. So with that, all you do is grip at the esophagus and you make a sort of sign whistling, silky sound from the back of the throat, a raspy sound. Okay, so again, you know, a sort of Darth Vader breath nearly. As you breathe in through the nose, you'll hear this sound. It's like a soft, sweet, sighing sound on the back of the throat, whistling, silky breath, seashore breath. It's like a sighing breath. Do you grip at the esophagus? It's like a... You can hear that, shoulders stay down and you're going like with the mouth shut. So that will naturally, again once more, lengthen that whole will cycle of breath. Okay, again it's like a... And again, that gives the mind something to focus on within the breath. It's a natural sort of focusing breath. We do that sometimes to a lesser degree when we're doing a fine motor skill, like threading a needle, banging a nail in, etc. You might sort of make a sign, focusing breath. That's ujjayi breath. In ujjayi breath, we're just overemphasizing that natural focusing breath. Okay, and as you're doing that, that'll give your mind something to focus on. As you're doing that right now, if you can't get that, don't worry, just carry on as you are, zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals, breathing in and out through the nose, while elongating the out breath longer than the in breath. If you've got the ujjayi breath, once more again, that'll again lengthen that whole will cycle of breath. Through gripping that esophagus, you'll also stimulate the thyroid gland, which helps with weight control, etc. Helps us build the heat in the body, helps us fan the fire, to burn all the toxins in the body. Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. Lovely. So with that, you can stay with that, okay? Again, with the ujjayi breath or not, you can quadruple it, double it, triple it the out breath right now. Just make it longer than the in breath, okay? And allow that simplicity just to relax the mind at will. Lovely. Just allowing that relaxation to soak in like ink through blotting paper into every single organ, cell, sinew of the body at will. Be aware of the sound of the breath, the feed of the breath, as it weaves that tapestry of relaxation. Every single organ, cell, sinew of the body, as you keep zipping up now a bit further on, scooping out your abdominals, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, with your dry breath or not. Lovely. So we're going to do a bit of breath synchronized movement, vinyasa. Okay, again, we're going to calibrate and synchronize and integrate the breath with the motion. Optional. So you can go opposite hand to opposite leg. I'll go back so you can see that. Opposite hand to opposite leg. Again, breathing, come up, exhale down. All the other way, it doesn't matter. Just simply link the breath to motion. Breathing in, empty, opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay, again, you can bring the foot up this much or more, you know, exploit the range, speed and tempo. If you really have balance troubles, can just get the foot in like a cat stance. Okay, so again, you can just leave the toes on, imagine that's the toes there, and you're bringing the heel off each time. Otherwise, if you're all right taking the foot off the floor, you take the foot off. It can be a centimetre, a millimetre, or a foot, it doesn't matter. If you want to go high, it's harder. Again, if you go lower, it's easier. Breathing in, coming up, exhaling down. Empty one leg, fill up the next. Feel that soft cushion of the earth. As that foot just melts down towards the floor. Lovely. Bouncing the ball. Breathing one motion, exhale the next. Empty one leg, fill up the next. Shoulders down, lengthen up from the crown. Zipping up and hollowing. And as you're doing that, even imagine that trickle of water just running down the back and dispersing. Mount the shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. As we simply over mimic the walking gait. Lovely. And bounce the ball. Breathing in one motion, exhaling down, feeling that soft cushion of the earth. You want to step out wider, you can do, go a little bit deeper, you can do, but I would go no deeper than your knees in line with toes. Use the Iyengar yoga alignment principles, but otherwise, see what suits you. Remember, slow is harder, fast is easier, especially what we call the negative phase. The lowering down phase is always the hardest part. So that's where you really exploit that speed and tempo. Exploit the range, speed and tempo. Bigger motions are harder here, smaller motions are easier. See what suits you. Only make these as easy or as hard as you like, or the speed and the tempo, or how big or small you make them motions. That's a really good contralateral exercise. Works the body from opposite palm to opposite heel connection. That's how the body works. And we're simply over mimicking the walking gait. That's all we're doing here, working the body from side to side. Okay, so it's a really good posture one there. And again, really good balance one, because 85% of the time we're on one leg in a walking gait. It's really good to exploit the one leg phase. Lovely. So again, you've just got calming down the chi, the 18th move of the 18th form Qigong sequence added onto the 8. Then I'll start at 9 to finish this whole 35 moves, 3 forms together. Lovely. Calming down the chi, or Tai Chi closure next. But that was bouncing the ball. Bang.